Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So you will know from the title of this video that today I'm going to be going through all of the books I read in December. I actually got through a decent amount in December and I'm pretty proud of it. So I'm excited to show you guys all the books I read this month or last month. A couple of disclaimers. I'm like wearing really daggy clothing right now and my voice sounds a little bit off because I'm sick at the moment. Best way to start the new year. I just got a cold. That's fun for me, so please just ignore that. I still wanted to film this video for you guys, but I just couldn't be bothered with the extra effort of like changing into a nice outfit. And yeah, my voice will sound a little bit weird, but that's why. I just realized that these are in the wrong order, so let me quickly switch them around. I'll start off with the first book I read this month. I read 10 books this month, which is definitely like more books than I've read for a few months, especially because I've had uni, so I wasn't really reading heaps, but I got through a solid amount in December and I kind of want to get through a solid amount in January too. Okay, book one was Sugar Town Queens by Mala Nun. I really like this book. I found it at the secondhand bookstore, but it's actually like a pretty new book, so I was really surprised when I found it there. It's a good steal. And this book was so good. It like basically just details this girl who grows up in a township in South Africa, and her mum's white, but her mum has memory issues, and so she's like mixed race by the way. And her mum has memory issues and is a bit kind of crazy. And she doesn't know, this girl doesn't know anything about her family or her past. And it's kind of like a coming of age story. She's like digging through, meeting her relatives. And it really highlights sort of racism. It's really good. A really good book. Like very eye-opening. And yeah, I just loved it. Honestly, this was like, if not a 5 out of 5 stars, it was like very close to being a 5 out of 5 star read. And pretty easy to get through too. So would recommend this one. So that was my first read. I got through that in like a few days. My next read that I finished was Stalking Jack the Ripper. This is my bestie's favorite book ever, so I had to read it. Honestly, I don't like the cover of this. Like the cover itself is really pretty, in my opinion, but the feel of it is weird. Like it feels cheap. I don't know if it's just the edition I bought, but like it just doesn't feel as sturdy. But anyway, it's a historical fiction and mystery. It's about this girl who is studying, whatchamacallit, she's studying to be a medical examiner, and so she's her uncle's apprentice and she helps him cut up corpses and investigate crimes. And so Jack the Ripper is hitting London and she's trying to figure out who it is, and it's really good actually. It wasn't super gripping and it was a bit gruesome, especially like the when they like described dissecting the human bodies. That was a bit gruesome, and there's like a photo of someone with leprosy in there and that was pretty disturbing too. But overall I'd say this was like a 3.5 or 4 star read. It was pretty good, and it's also underrated. I feel like, so I bought this online. Oh no, I got given it by my family, but I think they bought it online, and I never see it in bookstores, which is unusual, so it is underrated. The next book I finished, if you saw my TBR thing and what I wanted to read for December, I'm so glad I finished it. I started December with 5 books on the go and it was just a bit chaotic, but I finished all of the 5 books I wanted to finish. So I'm really happy with that. And this is one of them, which is Different Not Less by Chloe Hayden. Sorry, tea break. Anyway, it's like a bit of her biography and guide for neurodivergent people. It's really good, really eye-opening, and yeah, I loved it, especially after having met her in person. Like this was really cool. So I was really happy to read that book. Look, still can't get over that she signed it. Anyway, yeah, this is a great book. And I don't usually read a lot of non-fiction, but I really enjoyed this. Would recommend this. Helps give you a really good understanding of neurodivergent people and disabled people. And I'll rate it like 3.5 stars probably. Okay, next book I read was Nothing More to Tell by Karen McManus. This is her newest book. I picked it up soon after my birthday in October, and I read it in a few days because her books are like so gripping. I always get through them in a couple of days. Honestly though, it was really good, but I was kind of disappointed with the ending. Yeah, it fell flat. There are other books I would recommend more, like my favorites from Karen McManus. Can't even speak. Are probably Two Can Keep a Secret and You'll Be the Death of Me and The Cousins. I wasn't super into this one. It wasn't as good as the other ones in my opinion, but still very good. I'd rate it like 3.5, 4 stars. So I finished that in a couple of days. Then I picked up 1,000 Boy Kisses, which one of my besties got me for my birthday. I'd never heard of it before I picked it up. Anyway, it's like a young adult romance and it wasn't my favorite at all. Like, I kept reading it and I got through it, but it was just really weird. It was about like these, well, it shows them growing up. So for a bit of the story, they're like 15, and for a bit of the story, they're about 17-year-olds, and they like fall in love. But the weird thing is like they're convinced they're so deeply in love, and the whole story is just them both thinking about how in love with the other one they are. There's no like real story or plot to it. So it was a bit weird. I wasn't really into it. The ending though was so sad. So I wasn't into most of the book, but for the last ending, like I was so close to crying. It was really sad. I did enjoy that, like the ending moved me to emotion, but the rest of it just kind of fell flat. It was just weird to me. Wouldn't really recommend it. I'd say it was like 2.5 stars. Read. The next book I read was a thick one. If you watched my reading vlog, you would have seen me when I read this, and it was Gilded by Marissa Meyer. I enjoyed this, not as much as I was hoping I would, but it was quite good. It was like really oldie-worldy fantasy. If you like books like V. Schwab's books like The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue or The Near Witch or anything like that, you would probably like this. Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm not sure if I'll read the rest of the series, to be honest. Maybe, maybe not. I'll keep you updated. I'd say it was like a 3.5, 4-star read maybe. It was a good book overall. Like it was, yeah, really good. I just think at the moment I'm craving like Sarah J. Maas kind of fantasy, not oldie worldy fantasy, so I wasn't in the mood for it. The next book I read was one that I had started and wanted to finish. It was one of those 5 books, and I'm really glad I finished it. Truly Devious. Honestly, how ugly is this cover? It is like one of the most atrocious books I own, but I got it from the secondhand bookstore, so I can't really complain. But anyway, it's like a mystery and it's really strange. I honestly don't like any of the characters. A lot of the characters are really weird, and I'm just, yeah, they don't like resonate with me or anything, but the mystery part was really good, and by the end it was like really developing, and I thought it was a standalone. Disappointed because it's actually part of a series, and I think I want to read the rest of the series. Ooh, my thing's about to run out of battery. Sorry for that interruption, and sorry if the camera quality has decreased. My camera just died, so I had to switch to my phone, but I've only got a few more books, so I wanted to keep filming, and like I'm in a roll, so I'm gonna film. But yeah, the mystery plot was good. I want to read the second book of this, I think. Would recommend. I'd say it was like a 4-star read actually, even though I went in and like the first half I was like not impressed with, but it really improved. The next book I finished was The Sun Is Also a Star. This was one of the books I was midway through reading and then took a bit of a hiatus from and then went back to. I found out it's a movie. Oops, I started watching it on the plane, but the movie was kind of crappy. But anyway, the book is okay. If you like The Secret Science of Magic book, this is a similar vibe to me, by Nicola Yoon, by the way. It's really weird because it's set all in one day, and it's about like this girl and boy who happen to meet, and they're like fall in love in one day, and then at the end of the day they have to separate, and the girl is moving back to Jamaica, and the boy has to decide if he wants to go to uni to study to be a doctor or not. It definitely wasn't a bad book. It wasn't like super gripping or anything, and it wasn't like an amazing story, but it explores a lot of interesting themes, I think, and it's like a young adult romance kind of thing. If that's your thing, I would recommend it. I did recommend it to one of my besties who loves The Secret Science of Magic. It is very similar in my opinion. But yeah, I'd say like 3 stars maybe. Second last book I read is The American Roommate Experiment, which one of my friends got me for my birthday. This is by Elena Amas, who also wrote The Spanish Love Deception, if you've read that. And it's kind of actually connected to the same characters, which I didn't realize till I got to the end. I haven't read The Spanish Love Deception, but I think it like mildly spoiled something for me, so do be aware of that. Anyway, this is just like a really nice rom-com, perfect, like it's just one of those classic ones, like on the same page of The Unhoneymooners or like The Love Hypothesis. Just like a good rom-com, solid. I'd say it's like 4.5 stars, probably 4.5 stars. It's just really good. Would recommend if you're into all those classic rom-com kind of ones, and I think it's new too. And then the last book I finished for the year was City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare, which is part of the Mortal Instruments series. I'm so glad I finished this. It was a thick book, but it was actually really good. I was like kind of taking a break from it. I wasn't feeling in the mood for the Mortal Instruments for a while. I really love the Infernal Devices series, but the Mortal Instruments series just didn't have me in a chokehold. But once I forced myself to read it a bit again, because I'd like read 100 pages and then stopped, I actually got really into it again, and I'm really glad I read it. It was quite good, and I'm looking forward to, I think I have one more book left in this series. I did want to finish the whole series before the end of 2022, but it just didn't happen. I'm looking forward to finishing it though soon. So yeah, I'm really happy I finished that. Those are all the books I read in December. It's such a satisfying stack. I just keep looking at the stack and like being so proud of myself. But I will have to put them all away soon. Anyway, that's my December wrap up. I hope you guys like this video. Stay tuned, because in a couple of days I'm going to release my January to be read pile video, like what I want to read in January. Stay tuned for that. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know your thoughts. Also comment any recommendations. I've been really craving like a fantasy book lately that's in a similar vein to Sarah J Maas, but I've obviously read all of her books already. Let me know if you have any suggestions along that kind of line. Also, I will be releasing a video as well that is my top 10 books of 2022, and it was really hard to narrow down, but I did it. And yeah, I'm really excited to tell you guys about those books, and stay tuned for that. Anyway, I will leave this video here. Sorry if it's a bit chaotic. I think my video is just always a bit chaotic, but see you guys in my next video.